I'm going to share a secret with you to easily create a seamless pattern repeat using a diamond grid. It completely changed the way I design my patterns in Procreate, and it's my go-to method. Let me show you how you can use it for your patterns. When you first start out creating patterns in Procreate, you're probably using a square grid, also known as a full drop. There's nothing wrong with this, but you're blind to what's happening outside the edges. You can't see how motifs interact across the seams until you slice and shift the canvas. You might draw all your finished motifs first, and then try and create a pattern from them, trying to fit them all together like a jigsaw puzzle. And we know just how frustrating that can be. The pattern ends up stiff and usually has empty spaces. And in Procreate, every time you copy or rotate an object, it slightly degrades the quality. So if you do this many times, your design can start to look a little fuzzy. But the diamond method changes this. Instead of working inside a blind square box, we simply rotate that box 45 degrees so that it creates a diamond. We use the edges of the diamond as a guide and place copies of that diamond in each corner to achieve our square repeat tile. Because the edges of the outer diamonds meet the edges of the central diamond, all your seams are visible on the canvas, so you can see how each motif interacts with the next tile. And how does that help? Well, it means you only really draw about half the motifs in the central area. These are then duplicated and placed around the edges, so it's saving you time. You refine and adjust your sketch until it works well before you waste any time inking and correcting a design. And you avoid repeating or rotating any of your finished art, so you're preserving the quality of your designs. Another major benefit is that this method is not only limited to the standard diamond shape. You can also use it for a stretch diamond, which results in a pattern that resembles a half-brick layout. Or you can use a tall, skinny diamond, resulting in patterns with more vertical repeat space. The opportunities are endless. So let's sketch out a pattern using a standard diamond shape. Now I've created a canvas that is 3000 pixels wide by 3000 pixels high and at a DPI of 300. First thing I'm going to do is tap on my wrench icon at the top, and I'm going to turn on my drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and at the bottom I'm going to slide that grid size slider to the right until it says max and accept those changes. What I want to do now is draw out a rough diamond guide for me to use as a reference for my sketch. Making sure I'm on a new layer, I'm going to use a red color so you can see it on the video, and I'm just going to use a default Procreate pencil brush, the dusky brush. And I'm simply going to draw a line out from the left to the top, hold my stylus on the screen, and that means that that line will snap to a straight line. And I'll repeat this all the way around the canvas until I have a rough diamond shape. Now it does not need to be perfect, it's just a guide for us. Now I'll come back to my layers panel and I'll reduce the opacity of that so it's not so much in our face. I'll create a new layer above that, and on this layer I will now start to sketch out my idea for my pattern. And I'm kind of going to go with a floral design, so I might put a flower there, and I might have another flower over here, and I might have one flower in that area. Now I know because I'm going over this edge of the diamond will repeat over in this area, and going over this edge of the diamond will repeat down here. But first I'm going to start to add in the leaves and stems of my flower design. Now I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out, but I'm just going to try and see how it might turn out. Now, I'm not going to do anything further because I need to now repeat copies of these motifs into each of the four corners, so it gives me an idea of how my pattern is going to flow. First, I'll make a mark in the top left corner and one in the bottom right corner, and this ensures that Procreate will select the entire square canvas to make copies, which is exactly what we need. Over in my layers panel, I'll swipe to the left and I'll create 4 copies of that original layer. I'll hide that original layer and I'll hide the top 3 layers, making sure I only have one of these layers selected. And the reason I do this is if you have many things showing on your canvas and you try to start moving things around, it makes it really difficult for Procreate to decide what it wants to snap to. So in order to prevent that, only having one layer visible, the layer that you want to move, makes it much easier and accurate for Procreate to snap. I'm going to tap on my arrow tool. I'm going to make sure that snapping and magnetics are both turned on and distance and velocity are set to max. Then I'm simply going to drag this layer up until it snaps to the middle and drag it over to the right until it snaps to the middle, and you can see the orange line there. I'll come back to the layers panel and hide that, show the next layer and select it. This time I'll move it up to the middle and over to the left. Hide that layer, make the next one visible and select it. This time I'll move it down to the middle and over to the right. Hide that layer, select the next layer, move it down to the middle and over to the left. Now, when I show all of those layers, you can see I've placed a copy in each of the four corners. I'll merge those together by just pinching the layers together. I'll select my eraser brush and just erase those lines in the middle. We don't really need them. And then I'll show my original layer in the middle. On that copy that I made, I'm going to tap once and I'm going to choose invert. And what that does is it inverts the color. So I know that the blue in this case are my copies and the red is my original in the middle. So I know that I always need to adjust the original, and that's always going to be the red. Now you can see we have some issues here. We have some overlapping in this area as well as here, and we have some overlapping in this area. I'll adjust this section over here first. So making sure I'm on my original layer, I'll just select my eraser brush and just erase that away there. And I can see I need to adjust this leaf over here. And I also need to adjust the size and location of this flower here. So I might make that a little bit more that shape. And I'll make this leaf over there. And I might add a leaf there. And in this area, I could add more leaves. So by having those copies in the corner, it gives us a much better idea of how the design flows. Now this area here is not quite working for me. Just erase that for now. I might do a leaf there, which means this area here will change. And this is exactly how you need to work it. It's by trial and error. It's by going back and forth, changing things, and then repeating it all out again to see how it's working. Okay, so I have made those adjustments, and I can probably make that a little bit bigger there. We need to repeat the process, so I'll just delete those copies, and I'll create 4 more copies of that original and repeat the process. So this is what we're now looking like, and you can see we have an issue down here with the leaf overlapping the flower, and we have a little bit of an issue here. There seems to be a bit of an empty space. I'm going to address this area first, making sure I'm on that original layer. I might just add a leaf there like that, and I think I might change this area here. I might make it a little bit more interesting by introducing a couple of stems to fill out this area. And this is what it takes, trial and error, trial and error. Still need to address this area here, so I'll erase this leaf, and this leaf is not working so well for me. Let's go and repeat this out and see what we're looking like. Okay, and here we are. Now that seems to be working a lot better. We've managed to fill out most of the empty spaces. But now what we need to do is merge all of these copies, make more copies of them, and repeat them around the canvas to see if the pattern actually flows really well. I'll come back to my layers panel. I'll tap once on the layer thumbnail of those copies in the corner, and I'll choose invert again so we get back to the original red color. I'll hide that for now, and on this original layer, I'll make another copy, and I'll just erase the marks in the top left corner and bottom right corner, and I'll merge those top two layers together. Then I'll create 4 more copies of that layer, hide the original, select the top 4 copies, tap on my arrow tool. Now what I want to do is reduce the scale of all of these copies so that they fit into the top left corner here. Now there are 2 ways that we could do this. I can tap on the blue circle in the top left corner of the canvas, and when I do that, that opens up my dimensions window, and it tells me the current dimensions of my canvas, which are 3000 pixels wide by 3000 pixels high. In order to scale all of these down to fit into the top left corner, I simply need to type in half the amount that is highlighted in blue. Half of 3000 is 1500, and when I do that, you can see Procreate will snap and scale all of those copies down to fit accurately into the top left corner. That's the one way you can do it if you want to use math. If not, I'll just tap 2 fingers to undo. I can tap and hold on the blue circle in the bottom right-hand corner of the canvas, and I can drag that up to the middle of the canvas. When I get there, it'll snap in place to the middle, and that has also reduced all 4 copies of that layer into the top left corner. I'll come back to my layers panel and I select the bottom layer, tap on my arrow tool, and I move it over to the right until it snaps to the right edge, and down to the bottom till it snaps to the bottom edge. Select the next layer. This time I'll move it over to the right until it snaps to the right edge. Select the next layer, and this time I'll move it down till it snaps to the bottom of the canvas. And I'll just hide the diamond grid for now. So this is what our pattern is starting to look like. So now we can see how this pattern is starting to flow, and it gives us an idea how everything is working together. I don't mind how that looks. There is a little bit of a gap here, but on the whole, I don't think it looks too bad. I'll come back to the layers panel and I'll just merge all of those layers together. So by taking the time to make sure that we get our original sketch perfect, we know that when we come to start inking this pattern out, all we need to do is follow this sketch and the resulting pattern will repeat perfectly well. Now I'm going to show you how to take this sketch and ink it in to create your repeat pattern. So click this video here to get started.